So here we have the Hinderer KA-BAR, Rick Hinderer's version of the KA-BAR. And in my opinion, this is the best KA-BAR ever done. This is in 3V, Hinderer knives. This is a full tang construction out of 3V. Bolt-on handles that are removable. Very nice pommel. This was done in agreement with KA-BAR. Hinderer reached out to KA-BAR and collaborated with their permission and used the KA-BAR name. So he got to use the KA-BAR name with permission. Rick Hinderer is a big, huge fan of KA-BAR, and he wanted to do his own version of the KA-BAR, and he hit it out of the park. In my opinion, this is the best KA-BAR that you can buy. One of the differences between this and an original KA-BAR is you got the finger choil, or you could call it a sharpening choil here. Your finger fits very nicely into that. If you wanted to choke up on this blade, use this finger choil to pull the knife back out of something. You get it stuck in a tree and whatever, use this and it gives you a little extra grip when you're wanting to pull that out. Not that you need any extra grip. I mean, look at this handle, guys. This handle is incredible. Now, most people aren't going to take this knife out and go chop trees down and do the kind of things that most people do with a KA-BAR. This is an amazing piece. This is a piece that you'd buy and give it to a veteran that you love, or somebody in your family that's fought in a war, and they are going to cry when they see this thing. It is so beautiful. It's a beautiful rendition of the KA-BAR. And this thing is done extremely sharp. They're not making many of these. I don't know if they're even still making these or how many they're making. They're very tough to find. When you do find them, they are $5.75 and up. They do come in different colored handles. This one I believe is black. Can't remember if it's a black micarta. The sheath is done by the Amish. I'm not going to be sliding the knife in and out of the sheath to show you. It fits extremely perfectly in that sheath. It's the most beautiful sheath that I think I've ever seen. Very, very well done. I will show you the sheath, but I'm not going to slide the knife in and out of it a bunch of times. So you got this fuller here as well, very nicely machined. It's a stone wash blade. And if you know, guys, you know that this version of the KA-BAR is highly collectible, highly sought after. Very, very nice tip. Very well put together. So for any of you guys that know about KA-BARs, there's love and hate in the KA-BAR. A lot of the KA-BARs are known to break right here at the tang. The regular versions of the KA-BAR just have a rat tail tang that runs through the blade, the pommels. I don't know how it's fastened. I think it's pinned on. but they're known to break right here at the guard, and you can go on YouTube and find out. And I guarantee you this one's not breaking. Look at the metal here. So usually, you know, the weakest part of a knife is when it goes from the thick blade and it goes into a 90 and then it gets skinny for your rat tail. So it gets, you know, your rat tail, and then it goes right to a 90, and then the thickness of your blade. And that 90 of the metal is where the weakness is. And all the 90s have been taken out of this knife. You know, this is not a 90, this is rounded, that's not a weakness. It actually gets stronger here because of this tang and because of the finger guard here. So there's actual strength here in this blade, and it's very thick as well. So you're not going to break this blade at the tang like you would a typical K-bar. And if anybody's using these knives in that fashion and trying to break them, I don't know. These are almost a work of art, and they're almost too beautiful to take out and beat on, you know. But I tell you what, in a survival situation, this knife is not going to let you down. So if you have a veteran in your family that's ever held a K-bar or loves a K-bar dearly, look at this version of the K-bar and consider giving it to them for a gift. It will mean a lot to them. This is a very, very beautiful knife. You got the Hinderer logo there. Let's take a quick look at the sheath. So again, you got the horse. So this is wet rolled and formed to the knife blade. You can see where they ran their roller right down the sheath on both sides of the stitching, and it fits this blade precisely. It is a nice fit. When you slide this knife in here, you can hold it and shake it upside down, and it's not going to come out of here. Even when you're not using this, it's not coming out. It's very firm in there. This leather is very thick, very nicely done by the Amish. Handcrafted in the USA. All the edges are nice and smooth. And if you know about the Amish, you know they make good things. I believe that sheath alone is well over $100. So that brings this knife into, you know, a very affordable position for a knife of this quality. And these knives are only going to go up over time. They're not going to decrease in value. They're going to go up, especially if he stops making these. This is not a sharpened edge. It could be if you'd like to sharpen it, but it is not. So that's a clip point. And I really like how this fits in my hand. Overall, I don't even want to hold it with that ring on my hand. But overall, this is a very nice handle, very comfortable in the hand. Finger choil, sharpening choil, very well balanced. I'm sure the balance point, yep, balance point's right where your finger would land, right? I mean, perfectly balanced. What a beautiful knife. There's some people that complain about the aluminum because these are aluminum bolsters. But you know what? Everything on this knife was thought about. This is very high quality aluminum on the pommel and the bolsters. And again, this knife is not something you're going to go throw around in the rocks and I mean, if you want to, go ahead. It's your money. Do whatever you want with this knife. But this is like a knife that when your life depends on it, you're gonna grab this knife because you know it's not gonna break. You know, it's gonna serve its purpose. It's not gonna be all rusty when you go grab it because I mean 3V does rust, but it's very corrosion resistant. You should wipe this blade down after you handle it. But this knife is gonna last 10 lifetimes. This is a knife that you're gonna hand down from generation to generation and to generation. This is a knife that your grandpa would love to hang on the wall next to his flag or whatever he has. Such a beautiful knife. I know KA-BAR makes a lot of different versions of their knife now, some with rubber handles, some with the old leather stacked handles, but I think this is such a nice handle. It really grips. It's got a little swell in the middle where it's a little thicker here and a little thinner here. Just overall, it's a great knife. In my opinion, it's the best version of the KA-BAR ever done. I'm very much in love with this pommel, or I'm sorry, this handguard here. I mean, your hand's not slipping down onto that blade for any reason. If I was in the service or something, this is the version I'd take with me right here. And I'm sure if you wanted this knife to be even tougher, you could remachine these pieces out of steel and they'd be tougher yet. But you know what? You're not going to hurt this. In the service, if you scratched it or dented these, these are solid, so they're not going to dent, but you know, if you gouged them, or it's a knife, you know, if you bring this into the service, you're going to use it. And I would definitely trust my life with this KA-BAR versus the normal rat tail, you know, tang that the normal KA-BARs have. And even though there is a finger choil, some people might say this is a weakness in the blade right here, or these are going to be a weakness in the blade. It's not. Look how thick it is here. You know, it's not a weakness. You're not going to break this blade. If you're trying, sure, you could break anything. But a lot of people break a KA-BAR when they're not even trying. They whack it against a branch a couple times and this tang breaks. So American made KA-BAR. Nice stone wash. The spine of the knife is not sharp. It's not going to strike a ferro rod very well. You can see it's been rounded over, and I like that it's been rounded over. It's very nicely done. No sharp edges here. No sharp edges in here until you get to that blade. Beautiful, beautiful knife, guys. If you've never held one of these in your hands, I would say do yourself a favor and at least hold one of these in your hands. Very beautiful. Thanks for watching. If you like this video and you'd like us to produce more, please hit that subscribe button. Please like, comment, and share this video. We'd love to do more high quality knife reviews like this for you guys. We'd like to review some TCAL knives. We haven't got any of those in yet. So Tim, if you're watching, send me a knife. And Compliance Edge, we'd also like to review some of your beautiful blades as well. So if you're watching, please send me some of your blades to review them for you. Thank you guys for watching this. And this knife was paid for with my own money. Honest review. If there was something I didn't like about this, I'd tell you. But I like everything about it. So if you're looking to spend your hard-earned money on a knife, I'd say go do it. This knife's going to last you for a long time, forever, unless you abuse it, you know. If you're using this knife what it's meant to be used for, it's going to last you forever. And if you want to give the most precious gift you can ever give to a veteran, I think this would be it right here. Thanks, guys.